like in the military, and then this plane is worth like, $50 million. And so anytime a plane goes down, like there's a really long like stack of paperwork and a long list of questions that comes with it, right? And so they're interviewing these fighter pilots, like, hey, you ejected out of your plane, like what happened? And so some of them were like, they were in a gunfight, others like the plane malfunctioned, this thing happened. Like they're figuring out all these things, and they just want to know for their own, so that they can make the planes better, so they can fix their training. They're trying to interview all these pilots for kind of productive reasons, you know what I'm saying? Not so they can like court-martial. They're like, hey, what happened? And they thought that these pilots were like protecting each other. They thought that they weren't like telling the truth because they didn't really have answers. They were like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And it's like, I think it was like 23 steps to eject from a plane. Like from like knowing that, hey, I've got to get out of the plane to like feet on the ground. It's like 23 steps broken down. And so they're like, what the heck? Like, why don't you have answers? Like there's so much to be done here. And what they realize is like, it's really expensive to eject out of a plane, so they don't ever actually eject. They do all these drills on the ground. So it's like drill, 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 drill. And like every day, like they don't get to fly every day, but they had to drill every day. And so years and years and years of drilling into this, one day someone actually ejects from a plane and then they don't have a lot of answers. And so what they concluded from this study was not that these guys weren't telling the truth, but they had done it so much that it was actually muscle memory. You know what I'm saying? It was the 991 perfect reps that we talked about. And so, like, that's what my goal is here in wrestling, okay? If we were gonna do the absolute most to change whatever, like, we could just literally have y'all do this post-collar knee over and over and over again. We've been doing this at the club for like 2 or 3 years now, and like some of my guys, like, they're like, oh, post-collar knee, awesome, okay? Because it's like, it's not a thrill to them anymore, although it's highly effective. When we go to nationals and we beat All-Americans, it's because we're going post-collar knee and the guy can't keep up. He's reacting the whole time. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I'm not gonna make you get 1,000 reps. You're gonna go out, you're gonna get like 10 to 20 reps, and then we're gonna come back in so we can move on and talk about the next thing. Because I want to expose you to the most number of things that we can, and then it's your job, if you actually want to get better wrestling, to go back and get your 1,000 reps. Are y'all with me here? Okay, that's the way this is going to happen. So I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to explain why, so that you're like, oh yeah, that is a good idea. Go drill it, feel it a couple times, journal it when we're done, and then you go back to your practice room, and that's where you go get your reps in your laboratory, wherever that is. Are y'all understand?